This right here is the XShot Micro, and it's micro because of its size. But don't let its size fool you. This thing packs a lot of power. It just reminds me of the noisy cricket.
Series 4 deatomizer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Noisy cricket.
And because there's so much power in this tiny little blaster over at Genco MegaWorks, they decided to harness this power. Domocheski has reshelled this blaster several times by now. I think we're on version 4, which is a hammer prime blaster. This right here is the first version. As you can see, it addresses the very small pistol grip. This thing is so small, it's hard to use. So we have a full-size grip. And he kept going with it. He had a version 2, a version 3. I think this is the version 3, which has got 2 triggers on here, so you can pull one, then the other. And if you want, you can pull both triggers at the same time, making this thing a shotgun pistol. So satisfying. And he kept going with it. He decided to make this thing. This is the Conductors Revolver. It holds 7 micros. From talking to Domocheski, it sounds like there's gonna be a lot more of this stuff. I absolutely love the idea of taking a cheap, affordable blaster, reshelling it and reusing it over and over. It's just such a cool idea. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about the Conductors Revolver, what went into building it, how you can get one yourself, and the overall performance of it. Let's jump right into the video. A little background about the XShot Micro is it has been reshelled and resold over and over, including knockoffs. So acquiring an XShot Micro is relatively easy, even in this day and age. The red one is the one they currently sell at my local big box store. And there are 7 micros inside the Conductor. I absolutely love how this mechanism works, how it rotates the entire cylinder and triggers each plunger tube to fire. On the blaster with the cylinder and the side dart holders, there's enough darts to fill this blaster 3 times. As you notice, we are using short darts. That's because we pulled out the dart posts, which is a very easy process, and I highly recommend doing so. Just keep in mind when you remove the dart post, it also removes the air restrictor, so you don't want to dry fire these. Let's head on over to the range and take a look at this blaster's accuracy and check its chronograph reading. Let's get some chronograph readings off these XShot waffle darts. 75. 72, 73, and 74. Next, let's check out these brand new Worker Gen 3s, courtesy of Darts. 84, 86, 78, and duplicate. Let's check accuracy at 30 feet. With the blaster's performance out of the way, let me talk about the build, because this thing is a lot of fun to build. If you have a 3D printer, I highly recommend purchasing these files and printing it yourself. And of course, acquiring 7 XShot Micros. Getting all the necessary hardware for this blaster isn't too difficult, and I'll actually leave a link in the description to an Amazon set that has most of the hardware already in it. In addition to that screw set, you'll also need some stretchy cord, and I'll go ahead and leave a link to that as well. So what are my final thoughts about this blaster? I would say the overall build process and just the experience of building it is worth it. In addition, it is something very weird and strange, and if you actually can pull off tags with this thing, I think that's pretty cool. I do like the semi-auto feel to it, because after you prime it all, every trigger pull is a shot, and it feels like a semi-auto type of revolver, which is really nice. Priming and loading the blaster isn't too much of a chore, but it is slower than other traditional means such as magazines. Now, there is no rifling or barrels or scars or anything on this blaster, so they're not the most accurate shots, but at 30 to 50 feet, I think you'll be fine. It's also worth noting, if you would like, you can put a stock on this. My only gripe is when you use a stock, I like to put my hand somewhere, and there's not really anywhere you can put your hand when you have a stock on it. So it is what it is. It does brace your shots, so it would help. Overall, I'm a big fan of Genco MegaWorks blasters. They're always outlandish and crazy, and it feels like he always strives to produce something that doesn't exist anywhere else. And I believe the Conductor's Revolver definitely does that. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video. I'm DrFlux. I want to thank you for watching today's video. As always, be safe and happy foam flinging.